Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to yet another episode on the Life Signatures Radio. Yesterday, we had a privilege and the opportunity to begin another series. And in that series, we are talking about the purpose economy. Actually, it's a long series. I hopefully believe it might be a very long series, or it might not, depending on how it's going to look like. But there are two key words that I am focusing on. I'm focusing, number one, on the purpose economy, and number two, I'm focusing on collaboration. And we are going to start by talking about the purpose economy before we can talk about collaboration. So, in a nutshell, the whole series is premised on this topic: the power of collaboration in the purpose economy, 4 ways to effectively collaborate. That's what we're going to be talking about. But on and off, we're going to be dealing with a particular aspect before we can start looking at the 4 ways of collaboration. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose economy is the economy that is driven by gigs. It's the economy that is driven by people doing what they really love to do, what they are really passionate about. But at the end of the day, it's still creating a profit. There's a time I talked to you about purpose to profit. So the purpose economy is about what we care about, what we love, what we've been called to do, the things that are coming from our gifts and the things that are coming from our talents, the things that are coming from the ideas that we cherish, the ideas that we conceive and we follow through, the things that we create startups about, or the things that we just create a career about. It's different from the other traditional economy or employment where people were specifically given opportunities depending on their quote-unquote qualifications. Now, whether they loved what they were doing or not doesn't matter, but they were qualified for it. And increasingly, we are seeing organizations starting to put away that demand that you must have qualified in A, B, C, and D, or have this kind of a degree to work for us. Big-time organizations like Google, they are phasing out these things of requiring people to have a degree so that they can get employed. So increasingly, like I said yesterday, the humanity is moving so much towards the purpose economy, both, I think, greatly by necessity. The other way you will think that we'll organically go there, or we should have started by that, but we didn't. What is happening is that we are seeing that the qualifications were needed for us to get employment and so on. Now the qualifications are there by the droves. There are many people are getting these qualifications, but they still are unemployed. And they are wondering, what was the purpose for this? Some of them who have these qualifications are doing jobs that they should not have gone to school to do. Selling merchandise on the streets doesn't need a degree in mechanical engineering, but we have documented stories of people. You've seen people standing with placards on the streets detailing their degrees. I have a degree in biochemical, I don't know what, and so on. Please employ me. That form is not working anymore. Qualifications, just having qualifications is not working anymore. But the purpose economy is coming from the angle where there are needs in society, and we have gifts and we have talents, and there's a way we can churn out these gifts and these talents to such a degree that they can offer a solution, they can create a solution, they can solve a problem, they can create an impact or make a contribution in society, so much so that we get paid for that. I know that in the developed worlds where the basic needs are easily being met, this gig economy is becoming, or the purpose economy is becoming a reality more than it is in the developing worlds, where food, shelter, and clothing is something that is so in need. I mean, we're still grappling with that on Maslow's pyramid. I nearly said pyramid scheme. Maslow's pyramid of needs, I think, something of that nature. At the bottom of the pyramid in developing countries, something that many people are still grappling over. But even then, even in developing countries, people are not necessarily just getting employed for the things that increasingly, they're not just necessarily getting employed because they need to get money at the end of the month. We are seeing that even when people need to put food on the table and clothes on their back, they are looking for avenues where they can be able to eke out a living. And increasingly, some of these avenues are being decided by what they are passionate about, what they have a passion for. So there is the startup world that is increasingly becoming common in the entrepreneurial world. In fact, they will tell you Uganda is a developing country. Very many statistics have pointed out that Uganda is one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world. Sometimes at some point in time it was above the United States of America. People are increasingly going into the purpose economy, which speaks into the things that they're supposed to do that come from their gifts, their talents, or come from the things that they love to do the more than just having a qualification and doing life for that particular kind of qualification. I said yesterday that this is what we're supposed to be doing. And I said in passing, and maybe I might dwell on it today, I said in passing yesterday that you cannot have a purpose economy if you don't have purpose education. Because the traditional economy, where people get qualifications and then they get employed, has an education system that is backing it up. And the thing is that education system has never changed. We just do a game of musical chairs. We say, we need competency-based curriculums. What do? We still have biology, physics, chemistry. We still have compulsory classes. We still force people to go to school. We still force people to do exams. We still force people to graduate before they can, quote-unquote, qualify. We still force qualifications. In my opinion, the so-called competency-based curriculum should be done in such a way that someone should start earning as early as possible, as in from their gig, from their capacity. I mean, someone should solve a problem, should be taught to solve a problem, and should start earning from it. If someone is good at writing, why should we wait until they graduate 20 years down the line so that they can start writing and earning? What is wrong with them being discipled at this moment in time? We've discovered that this person is gifted at writing. What are we waiting for? Why can't we fast track this person? Does this person need to do other courses? Are you getting what I'm saying? The purpose economy cannot come to full circle and full fruition until there is purpose education. The same way we've institutionalized the education system of the older economy, where people have to get qualifications before they can get employed, is the same way you must institutionalize purpose education. The problem with purpose education is that it goes against the grain of the traditional education. You cannot create an examination on purpose, because the purpose of every student in your class, 40 of them, is different, totally different. You cannot. Where is the marking scheme for that? It is arduous to mark their purpose. And how are you going to mark my purpose to be wrong? My purpose to inspire hope and enrich lives worldwide. How are you going to tell me that's wrong? It's not wrong. It's like all the purposes of all those 43 kids in your class, they are correct. It is right. You cannot fail them. And that's why it is difficult for the traditional mind to talk about purpose education, because it totally annihilates and obliterates the other kind of traditional education. There's got to be a marrying of the two at some point in time. We have to be bold enough to do this. In other words, we need to start looking at experts in niches than looking at employability. Because I can tell you this without battling an eyelid, for the most part, the traditional economy is driven by one word, which is employability. The purpose economy, on the other hand, is driven by problem solving, driven by creativity, driven by by passion, people being passionate about what they're doing, driven by gifts, natural gifts and natural talents. That's what it's driven by. Unless we start embracing this, we will still send kids to our schools by their droves, and at the end of the day, they come out, they are quote-unquote employable. These days we normally say, I'm going to send my kids to private school because life is about building networks. They're going to, if they can be in a school where the kids there, they can become presidents of companies and so on, they're networked. Let me tell you something about networking. Nobody is going to network with you when you don't have value. You can go to the same school with someone who will eventually become the president of the country, but the president of the country is not going to give you an opportunity just because you went to school together. You must have value. As long as you don't have value, forget about it. And this value is built when we start looking at our own purpose and disciple ourselves according to that particular purpose. That is what the purpose economy is all about, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to rethink our education, and we need to start thinking about purpose education. Because, as you can see, how many people graduated in your country today? Let me not say today. How many people graduated in your country this year? It is hundreds of thousands. And I am not talking just about public universities. I'm talking about private universities, public universities. We have tertiary institutions, colleges, diplomas. You have hundreds of thousands of people every year coming out. And all of them, the only thing that they're coming out with, ladies and gentlemen, is employability. We gotta change this. Because as long as they're saying that the only thing they have is employability, they are not going to get opportunities, because the opportunities are not there. However, if we tweaked and we changed and we made these people problem solvers, passionate people who are problem solvers and creators of solutions, solution thinkers, a friend of mine calls them solution thinkers, what happens? They create solutions, they create avenues for them, they create opportunities for themselves. Because that's what the world has become today. The world is not looking for people who are employable. The world is looking for people who are solving problems, solution thinkers, creators of things, movers of things. The world is no longer looking for people who are going to sit in the office and be told what to do. The world is looking for people who are going to tell the office, this is what we need to do. And those people are not necessarily people who are qualified. Well, we'll continue with this tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.